What's up, Internet Land? It's me, DJ, and I'm back for another edition of DJ Does Sports. And I brought a special guest with me. Say hello to little DJ. This is Derek Jr. I decided to film with him today because he was kind of whiny. I didn't really have another time to film because I had to go to work later that day. And he was crying. I'm the one who can whisper to him. I'm the baby whisperer around these parts. So I decided, hey, why not just film a YouTube video with my son? Who's doing that? Nobody's doing that. Father-son YouTube video? Come on, get at me, YouTube. Anyways, I have a really good show for you today. Also, if you see me rocking, it's because I'm rocking my son. It's not because I'm losing my mind. Anyways, we have a really good show for you today. We're going to do some headlines. We're going to do some Heisman talk. We're going to do some predictions. And we're going to pass out some awards. It's a really jam-packed show today. Can't wait to get into it. So let's start the show. First, Bama survives their first test versus Ole Miss, 33-14. Now, the score indicates that they really weren't tested, but they were. The game was much closer than the score can tell. Bama trailed for the first time since playing Tennessee last year. Yeah, it was 7-6. Ole Miss was up until Bama ran back a kickoff. A.J. McCarron, my boy, you went 22 for 30, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. The guy does not turn the ball over. He's good. Let's talk about the Oregon Ducks, who's another team that's good. The Ducks wore in the second half to stomp the Cougars, 51-26. Starting like Washington State had a chance in the first half, but they came out in the second half. I don't even know if they came out in the second half. Did they come out in the second half? I don't know. Kenyon Barner, 20 carries, 195 yards, 3 touchdowns. DeAnthony Thomas, my homie, my friend, 126 all-purpose yards, going crazy. Listen, this team is for real. The Ducks, in my opinion, are the #1 team in the nation, and that's just my opinion. I think they can beat Bama right now. Let's talk about another team who will play Bama, the LSU Tigers. What's going on? They stumbled past Towson 38-22. As a matter of fact, they trailed at halftime 9-7. They barely escaped. And speaking of escapes, Georgia, you barely escaped Tennessee this week. I tell you what, you guys took a 17-point lead and almost choked it right up. But you came back, you showed me something. You showed me moxie, and I like that. Anyways, they went on to beat Tennessee 51-41 or 51-44. Aaron Murray was 19 for 25, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Todd Gurley, the true freshman, showing me something, showing me how to play. 24 carries, 130 yards, 3 touchdowns. Look, son, listen, 3 touchdowns, not 5. Well, you get the point. 3 touchdowns out of a true freshman. He's not even much older than my son, and look what he's doing. This guy's amazing. Watch out for that guy. Now, the game of the week, maybe even the game of the year, goes to Baylor versus West Virginia. West Virginia pulled that out 70-63 in a game where you didn't even need a defense to show up. Gene O. Smith put up video game numbers. Let me read you the stats. Hold on. Let me read you these stats. I'm looking at them right now on paper, and I don't even believe them. But let me read you what he went. Geno Smith, 45 of 51, 656 yards, 8 touchdowns, 0 INTs. He threw 51 passes and only missed 6. Stedman Bailey, he's a stud receiver. Maybe is he going to be in the Heisman list? I don't know. Keep watching and you'll see. 13 receptions, 303 yards, 5 touchdowns. That guy's a stud. He's a nightmare. It's not just this game. The guy's a problem. Watch out for him. And Baylor, Nick Florence, RG3's backup, 29 for 47, 581 yards, 5 TDs, 1 interception. And his handy-dandy receiver, Terrence Williams, 17 big receptions for 314 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was a game. I was holding on to my seat the whole time. I thought I was watching a basketball game. I forgot I was watching football. I was going to go outside and shoot hoops afterwards. That's how that game played out. Now, my team, Ohio State Buckeyes. They went on the road to East Lansing and beat Sparty on the road 17-16 in a very close game. The Buckeyes turned it over a lot. There's 3 turnovers. Had those turnovers not occurred, I don't think it would have been as close as the game was. Braxton Miller stepping up. Is he a Heisman candidate? Keep watching. He went 16 for 23, 179 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception, and this guy, 23 carries, 136 yards. Get at me. The number 2 rusher in the nation. Get at me. Or get at him. Don't get at me. Get at him. And Andrew Maxwell, not to be outdone. 22 for 42. 269 yards. 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Le'Veon Bell from Columbus, Ohio. My city. Had a chip on his shoulder, he said, coming into this game because he felt like Ohio State didn't recruit him heavy enough coming out of high school. So what did he do in this game? He went off, didn't he? No. 17 carries, 45 yards. He had a decent game. It wasn't bad, but considering the circumstances, considering how many experts actually told me that, not necessarily told me specifically to my face, but told me on TV that Le'Veon Bell couldn't be stopped. He was going to have 250 yards in the Buckeye defense, and they would just have to watch him run back and forth. He disappointed. I'm sorry. Nebraska, and probably now the West Virginia Baylor game was the number 1 game. This is probably the number 2 game. Nebraska versus Wisconsin. Nebraska was down 20-3, and they came storming back to beat the Badgers 30-27. Taylor Martinez 17 for 29, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, 13 carries, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. The Big Ten has some really good combo quarterbacks. If you haven't known, now you know. Keep watching. Everybody's sleeping on the Big Ten, and yes, the Big Ten has had a down year, but keep sleeping on them, and they're going to come up and bite people. Jared Abbrederis, big game for him for Wisconsin. 7 receptions, 142 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, one of my viewers said, "You don't talk about Louisville, talk about them." Well, here you go. Louisville takes care of Southern Mississippi in the pouring rain, 21-17. I don't know this guy's first name, but the running back for Louisville, I'll just call him running back Perry because that's his last name. 22 carries, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. Charlie Strong has his team going in the right direction, but is he going to stay? He's starting to get looks. Charlie Strong was used to be coach for Florida under Urban Meyer. He has Louisville going crazy. North Dakota State University, another one of my viewers said, "You don't talk about these guys. Talk about some FCS schools." Here goes one for you. North Dakota State University is the number 1 team in the FCS. They stayed perfect by beating North Iowa 33-21. John Crockett rushed for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. Awesome. Like I said, you guys ask, I bring it to you. You guys ask me, I bring it to you. Let's talk about some Heisman candidates. It's in no particular order. Number 1 is actually the number 1 guy, and then after that, it's actually in no particular order. Number 1, it should be it's no contest. Geno Smith. I mean, who's doing more than this guy? This guy is a machine. This guy is deadly accurate. He would pick any defense apart. He's a good guy. Now, I have E.J. Manuel from Florida State. A.J. McCarron, Mr. Steady, Mr. Reliable. You know what you're going to get from him, and that's why I decided to put him on my list. I also have Stedman Bailey, and not just because of his breakout. Now, I don't want to say call it a breakout game, but not just because his big game versus Baylor. You go back and look at his stats. He's played really well this year. DeAnthony Thomas from the Ducks. This guy is Mr. Do-It-All. You want him to rush? He rushes. You want him to catch passes? He catches passes. You want him to return kicks? He catches kicks. And hey, he might even play some defense, but I don't know. They might actually try him. There's nothing that this guy can't do offensively. He's a threat to take it to the house every time he touches the ball. This guy's a stud. And I have also an honorable mention. Now, I'm a Buckeye fan. Yes, I do have some bias. But this kid carries our team day in, day out. He's a stud, and you can't deny him. So Braxton Miller, you get some Heisman love. You're not one of the top 5, but you are an honorable mention, in my opinion. Let's go to something else. Oh, let's go to predictions. My favorite part of the show. Last week I went 7-0. Yes, I'm that good. Or just really good at picking games, I guess. I had Baylor losing to West Virginia. I had Ohio State beating Michigan State. I had Texas beating Oklahoma State. I had Tennessee losing to UGA. I had Wisconsin losing to Nebraska. I had Ole Miss losing to Bama, and I had the upset pick, Stanford losing to Washington. So 7-0. Yeah, don't start betting and then no, I'm not going to tell you to start betting because then you guys might start betting and then sue me because I make bad picks from time to time. But it wouldn't be a bad thing, huh? To start listening to me when I make my predictions. Let's talk about this week's predictions. I have Oregon going to Washington and winning 41-28. That's going to be a really good game. Washington's a decent team, but a lot of times what happens is they get overranked, and they are overranked. I think they're like 17. They beat a Stanford team that was not a top 10 team, in my opinion. But who knows, man? They'll put up a fight versus the Ducks, and that's for sure. I have Florida at home against LSU. Florida's going to win that game, in my opinion, 17-13. LSU has shown me that they're not the team that they had last year. I don't know, maybe it's a honey badger, but he's not the whole team, or is he? I don't know. The quarterback, he doesn't look that great, and the whole team just doesn't look that great, especially against Towson. Went down 9-7 at the half at home. That's all I gotta say about that. I hope they're ready for Bama because I know Bama's definitely ready for them. They're looking at chops right now. Georgia at South Carolina. I had Georgia winning that game 28-19. West Virginia at Texas. It's going to be a great game, and I cannot wait to see what the Texas defense can do against the West Virginia offense. But I think the West Virginia offense is just way too powerful for the Texas defense right now. So I have West Virginia winning that game 35-18. I have Nebraska at Ohio State. I think this is going to be a really good game. I want to see what these two quarterbacks are going to do. Taylor Martinez versus Braxton Miller. I think Braxton Miller is going to outplay him. Braxton Miller outplayed him last year at Nebraska, but he got hurt. And then we ended up losing that game because of Joe Bousman, came in and stung up the joint. I'm sorry. Joe Bousman, I doubt you're watching this, but if you are, I love you. You're a Buckeye, but you stink. You suck. You are a horrible quarterback. I'm assuming that I can go and have outperformed you. But I have Ohio State winning that game 24-21. Northwestern at Penn State. I have Northwestern winning that game 20-14. And my upset pick of the week, I have Miami going to Notre Dame and beating the Irish 28-17. You just watch. I'm good at picking these upset picks. I think. I don't know. I had a good couple. I had a good run at least. But yeah, I have the Hurricanes going and knocking off the Irish, the Fighting Irish. Now, let's go to my awards for this week. For the best team performance, I have the Washington Huskies. I know what I just said. They're overranked, and they just beat a team that really didn't deserve to be in the top 10. But they were ranked in the top 10. Stanford was. They went into a hostile environment in Washington, Seattle, and Washington just outperformed them and on every in every way of the game. You know, special teams, offense, defense. It was a good game. It was close. It was back and forth. But then Washington just, said, this is our game. We're not losing. And they didn't. They went on to win. For my best individual performance, who do you think? Geno Smith. Next. Worst team performance. I have Illinois. It's a tie. Illinois versus Penn State. Illinois is at home and lost 35-7. And Hawaii versus BYU. Hawaii lost 47-0. It was close. And for my worst individual performance, usually I would call this the Chris Bosh Will Cry For You award. But I don't think he played horribly. I just think that I heard so much expectations from him that he's going to perform so well against the Ohio State Buckeyes that I decided to give Le'Veon Bell the worst individual performance. He was in my Heisman top 5 before this game, and he played himself out, just like Matt Barkley played himself out. He was 17 carries for 45 yards. He got shut down by the Silver Bullets. Again, thank you for watching. I hope that you guys comment. Also, I want you guys to leave comments and give me your Heisman top 5. I love the communication between us. I love when you guys write me back and tell me what you want to see. Keep doing that. I will talk what you guys want to see. And until next week, I might make another video too this week. But until next week, I'll see you. Bye. He's asleep.